Hello everyone! Welcome to the Engineering Geology and Hydrogeology course. This lesson, let's continue to study the structure of sedimentary rocks and common sedimentary rocks. First, let's learn the structure of sedimentary rocks. The structure of sedimentary rocks refers to the particle size, shape, and the combination relationship of materials constituting rocks. It describes rocks from a microscopic perspective. Common sedimentary rock structures include clastic structure, clay structure, chemical crystal structure, and the biological structure. Clastic structure is characteristic of clastic rocks. Detritus structures, according to the size of the detritus particles, can also be divided into three categories: gravel, sandy, and silty sandy structures. These three categories depend on the size of particles. It can be further subdivided. Gravel can be divided into conglomerate and breccia. Sand can be divided into coarse-grained sandstone, medium-grained sandstone, and fine-grained sandstone. The division is detailed in the table. The debris structure, according to the rounding degree of the debris particles, is divided into conglomerate and breccia. As can be seen from the left and right pictures, the roundness of conglomerate is better. No edges and corners, whereas breccia is angular. These two pictures show sandstone and siltstone in clastic structure. The sandstone particles are slightly coarse, while the siltstone particles are more delicate. The clay structure is composed of clay mineral particles with a grain size of less than 0.002 mm, characterized by homogeneous texture, compactness, and soft consistency. Mudstone and shale are in typical clay structure. The crystalline structure in chemistry is formed through precipitation or recrystallization from a solution as a result of purely chemical processes. Dolomite and marl are in typical chemical crystalline structure. The structure is predominantly or entirely composed of biological remains or fragments, shale limestone and coral reef limestone, as shown in the picture. In short, for the structure of sedimentary rock, their characteristics are described from a micro perspective. We also need to take a relatively macro perspective to describe their characteristics. Let's study the structure of sedimentary rocks. Let's learn a few concepts first. The structure of sedimentary rocks refers to the macroscopic features manifested by the spatial distribution and arrangement of their components. The structure we studied earlier is to study the microscopic characteristics of particles. The macroscopic features of sedimentary rocks emphasize in their structures. To accurately describe sedimentary rock structures, it is also necessary to understand the concepts of strata and bedding planes. Stratum refers to a unit of sedimentary rock formed by the continuous deposition of sediment under relatively stable geological conditions. Bedding plane refers to the interface that divides rock formations with different properties, which can be flat but mostly curved. The common sedimentary rock structures include bedding structure, bedding plane structure, biogenic structure, and concretionary structure. The bedding structure is a layered structure formed by cyclical variations in depositional environments, where successive deposits exhibit corresponding changes in particle size, color, and composition, resulting in visible stratification. It is the most important feature of sedimentary rocks. The picture shows the sedimentary rock with horizontal bedding, oblique bedding, and staggered bedding structures. The bedding structure characteristics of sedimentary rocks are clearly visible. In the picture, bedding plane structure refers to features preserved on rock surfaces formed by water currents, wind, biological activity, or sun exposure, including ripple marks, mud cracks, raindrop impressions, bird tracks, insect traces, and footprints. The biological structure is formed by the burial and lithification of biological remains, traces of biological activity, and ecological features during the sedimentation process. Biological structures contain biological fossils. Fossils are the remains or traces of organisms preserved in sedimentary rocks through the process of lithification. Concretionary structure refers to certain small-scale mineral aggregate nodules. In sedimentary rocks, its composition, structure, and color are different from those of the surrounding rock. The calcareous nodules in Lewis are formed by the precipitation of dissolved calcium carbonate from groundwater. The flint nodules in limestone are formed by silica through colloidal coagulation simultaneously with sediment deposition. The figure lists septarian nodules, pyrite concretions, and phosphatic concretions. In the last lesson, we detailed the texture and structure of sedimentary rock. Then, with the structure and tectonic characteristics of sedimentary rocks, we can easily identify sedimentary rocks. So, what are the common sedimentary rocks? There are three types of common sedimentary rocks, including clastic rocks, volcanic agglomerate, volcanic breccia, tuff, conglomerate, breccia, sandstone, and siltstone. Clay rocks include mudstone and shale. Chemical and biochemical rocks include limestone, dolomite, and marl. However, in various sedimentary rocks, there are only three most widely distributed and common species, namely shale, sandstone, and limestone. These three types of rocks account for about 99% of total sedimentary rocks. In this lesson, we mainly studied the structure of sedimentary rocks and the common sedimentary rocks. This concludes our study of sedimentary rocks. Next class, we will continue studying the metamorphic rocks among the three major rock types.